Some of the biggest challenges, I think, in education today would be engaging students in their own learning. And one of the things that we find that has been very helpful for us is providing students with a way of thinking about their learning. And when you can engage the student in their own learning, they become more passionate about their learning, and you can see it in the classroom when our teachers use things like the SMART skills, training students the way to think about approaching a problem and to frame their questioning. It's really exciting to see the level of engagement that happens at our learning centers.
The 21st century is bringing a whole raft of new challenges to us, and challenges that are significantly different than what we faced in the past. And education has to adjust and adapt in order for students to be successful.
21st century learning, I think, is giving students strategies and tools to help them adapt to their surroundings. Everything we read or see says that life is just going to keep changing. And so I think it's important that they know those strategies that they can use in an ever-changing world. And so having those skills to pick the right one at the right time is what's important to teach them.
Previously, I don't think we've given a lot of consideration to what it means to actually learn. We're looking for, when students are learning, that they actually change a behavior.
And certainly we are teaching teachers how to teach, but are we really informing them about best practice to encourage students to be critical, effective problem solvers themselves? Certainly it's being addressed to a certain degree, but I think we need to place even additional focus on that.
We're entering into an entirely different economy whereby the actual learning or the actual requirements are that we be creative. How can we know whether or not we're actually delivering information and delivering curriculum that's creative if we haven't even put any idea in terms of the learning and thinking styles we're offering to students?
I would say that business is changing and transforming in the 21st century to taking on the jobs that are a lot more creative, where we have to put a lot more of our own personal opinions on the line when we go to do our jobs. And people are being educated differently to get to those points.
We're living in a network style economy right now with many of the services. From a manufacturing side point, we're globalizing, which has had really interesting effects. What that means for people is we're not really competing domestically like we have in the past with maybe a factory down the street. We're competing with factories all across the world. What we need to do is be more proactive and create jobs, and the way we do that is by taking on a change in the actual fundamental base of how education works, by allowing students to become creative so that they can create their own sort of path, if you will, and then monetize that. By allowing people and encouraging people to be leaders, allowing them to know that it's okay to fail, and to have a system in place where people become self-reflective, where they're not just given the answers within a school system, where they're actually forced to look inwards and find out what their passions are so they can work those 14-hour days and feel invigorated after.
And if they don't have the ability to innovate and be creative and think differently, they're not going to fit in a successful way, or successfully in a way within the new economy.
Preparing students for the 21st century workplace, I think, kind of involves that. Definitely we're using the 21 strategies from One Smart World to help teach them to use the right tools at the right time.
SMART Skills is built on the 4 dimensions of high performance thinking, and that's understanding, decision making, creativity, and personal spirit.
So many students, I think, are lacking in some areas of those strategies, but also it's not knowing when to use those strategies at the right time. So by helping to guide them into when we should use those strategies, hopefully will help them to become better learners.
SMART Skills is really helping students to be prepared for the working world once they finally finish high school or finish college or university. And it's teaching skills to students that they don't have the opportunity to learn anywhere else.
The biggest difference between the students that use SMART Skills in the classroom is they feel more confident, they're happy, they are inspired, and they seem to have a fire lit under them. They're much more passionate about learning.
So the Simcoe County District School Board Learning Centers are using our Smart Skills applications to really help students who have been considered previously to be at risk. And they're really teaching them the skills that they need to be able to think through the content that they're learning in school, but also equipping them with the skills that they need to be successful in school that perhaps they haven't had an opportunity to learn before, and that they can also apply once they get outside into the working world. So it's really helping basically to turn lives around.